Jai Ma Durga, Jai Ma Kali Ma, Jai Ma Kali Ma, Jai Ma Durga, Jai Ma Kali Ma, Jai Ma Durga, Jai Ma Kali Ma, Jai Ma Durga, Jai Ma Kali Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Without our conscious awareness, we are driven by forces beyond our control at this time. Those forces being each one of our subconscious minds. Because while we don't remember or think about on the surface every day of what happened earlier in this life and lifetimes before, our subconscious mind remembers everything, programs everything, keeps track of everything. And everybody we encounter and every relationship we engage in, our subconscious mind is categorizing those people into departments. That's the mother department. That's the father department. That's the ex-husband department. And then it turns that person into that thing, that other person, so that we can keep trying to work out what it is that we are projecting based on our karma and what we're working through onto another living being. Because the truth is, everything is a mirror. Not just people, but every situation is a mirror of our consciousness, and it is a mirror of karma coming back to us. Karma we don't even remember. They call it the wheel of sharp weapons returning. Sometimes the karma comes back to us because of the good we've done, but sometimes the karma comes back to us not because we've done bad, but because we're still learning that this is all a projection. And what we need to do is get to the source of the beam of light that is creating this show. And so we push our neurosis and our complex onto other people. And other people mirror back to us what it is we aren't seeing in ourselves. And it becomes more of the same old thing, more of a way to blame someone else or hate ourselves, and just keep the cycle of negativity and unconsciousness going. So when we conjure up or experience devotion in our lives, and we can project that devotion onto something else, a teacher, a picture of Jesus, a picture of a guru, especially if it's a living being, because the mirror is powerful. And when we are doing prostrations, for example, before the big tanka like we do of Avalokiteshvara, who is the great Bodhisattva, you could do the prostrations to Jesus or the Divine Mother or your teacher or whoever it is. But when you do that, that is your mirror. That divinity is also a mirror. And you are saying, I am serving you. I'm putting my heart above my head and I am serving you. I appreciate you. I revere you. I will bow before you. I see how important you are. And this is a mirror, because when we're doing that, it's affecting our subconscious mind to become that thing with which we are giving our devotion to. So the mirror leads us back to learning to love ourselves and learning to rise above the duality and rise above the subconscious complexes where we sabotage ourselves with our greatest intention because we haven't yet realized the fact is that we have created this. Whether we know or feel like we are divine, we are still the creators of our own reality, and we have a lot that is catching up. And so when we're on a spiritual path and we're doing this work on that shadowy side of ourselves, and we're doing our best and we're trying really hard and everything is just getting so much worse, it's because it's catching up. We've speeded the process up. It's catching up. We have to just let it happen and hold the space and don't react and surrender and let the past catch up. Don't react to that mirror. Let it happen. Drop the story. Find a life where you can be devoted to something that represents the real, true you, to somebody who can show you and guide you to the real, true you, so that we can stop this karmic rut that we all get caught in, and we keep recycling the same old relationships, and we keep thinking we found the answer, and it keeps turning into the same thing over and over again, because we need to get back to the source of the being. And so when we pay respect to that projection of our divinity, I had very enlightened teachers, and I also had teachers that were good enough, meaning that my devotion and the fact that they were an adequate representation transformed me. I made them what they are. And even if we had the Buddha before us, if you can't see the Buddha, it's not the Buddha to you. You see what you need to see to be who you need to be. And you do the best you can with what life has put in your path. And so I see the Buddha. You are the Buddha. I will bow to the Buddha. You are the Divine Mother. I will prostrate to the Divine Mother. Then I will become the Divine Mother. Because that devotion and that love creates union. And we go through our life creating union with the wrong things because we can't ever actually get union. All it does is create separation because it's the wrong place to put our focus. It's the wrong mirror. And so devotion frees for that reason, because it lets us cut the past loose and not be so attached to things catching up to us and say, okay, I get it. I love myself anyway, and now I am focused on the flame of living love before me. That flame that I see, and the deeper that I love that flame, the closer I am to the love inside myself. Your level of devotion and understanding and awareness of how important devotion is reveals your level of spiritual progress. It reveals the grace and the karmic seeds. The beings, the great beings we've met in this life and past lives, their presence, their eye contact, their voice, their touch plant seeds in our astral body. But we have to water the seeds. Just like I can go plant a seed in some soil outside, but if I don't water it, the seed won't grow. It's there. It just needs to be watered, because you know what else is in our astral body? Other seeds that aren't so helpful to us. And so in this world, in this material life, and all these lesser relationships, we go around and we keep watering the seeds that we don't want to grow, and they keep growing. And then we get stuck in our head thinking we got the answer, but our mind will never find the answer. What our mind will do is try to get us not to believe that devotion is a real thing, or that devotion is dangerous, that we're giving our power away, that we could just make it about me. But it's a really good idea because it is about me. But with my attitude and my arrogance, how can I ever be humble enough? And this is why when they do the retreats in Buddhism, they do 100,000 prostrations as one of the prerequisites within a time span. Because the act of prostrating is not about what you're prostrating to, it's about you purifying your heart, you purifying yourself, you getting out of the arrogance of your mind, because our mind wants to survive at all costs in its ruts, because it's all it knows. It's a way of perpetuating what it feels is security, because it's habitual. And so it feels uncomfortable to make the shift. However, when the time is right and when you are advancing enough, you will make the shift, because it's what it's going to take for us to not leave what we are and disown any parts of ourselves whatsoever, but to get to a place where we can see ourselves clearly with compassion and with understanding of what needs to happen. Even when we die, the only person judging us is the highest part of us. Because when we leave our body, our consciousness becomes ultra clear, and we actually see why we have done what we have done. And we can do nothing but be absolutely honest with ourselves. No one's sending us back here to suffer. No one's sending us back here to have bad parents again. We are coming back here on our own, because we are the one at the source of the beam. This is all a projection. This is all a grand illusion. None of this is even happening. Time and space are not even real. It is just what's going on. And we need to come back and get as simple as possible. We don't need a bunch of mantras. We don't need to impress anybody with what we know. To practice the presence is the most simple and profound and miraculous thing we can do. And when we are able to practice that presence, being stilled and anchored by our devotion, we will open to our absolute divine potential. Because then the flower of Om Mani Padme Hum will open, and the cosmic awareness will open, and everything will be very clear, and we will see and know and feel that love is all there is. None of this pain needed to happen, but it did, because we're here to learn. And it did because we're here to purify our intention and to cleanse our souls and to advance to the next stage of our development for the benefit of all sentient beings. And so devotion is not about giving your power away. It's about recognizing your power in the real true mirror, the closest you can get to the real true mirror. That is why they call the Guru God, because God is what we are. The Guru will be our representation of that, and I will then merge. And they call that Guru Yoga, or they call it Deity Yoga. You merge with the object of your devotion. You create that being in your astral body so that you are another link in the chain of that lineage, of that power of love that surrounds you. There's no faking it. There's no loopholes. There's no easy way. There's no way where you can avoid your fears. Fear is because we're looking into the wrong mirror. And so, only God is real. God is the source of that beam of light that we are projecting onto the world before us, creating all of our experiences. So, come back to yourself. And stop getting caught looking at the wrong things, thinking they're you and fighting with them. Because love is the way.
Surrender to what is. Let go of what was. Have faith in what will be.